Previously on the Ron Van Dam Show.
You're going to meet the person of your dreams today. I'm very sex-driven, so don't be shocked or anything like that. I don't want to deal with that crap.
And now, today's episode.
Oh boy.
On the air everywhere, this is New England Broadcasting.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, welcome to the program. I am Ron Van Dam. Look, I can prove it. See? Oh, God. Bought a new copier yesterday in order to copy things, and it was on sale. It was an HP copier. Yeah, I know. I could not buy it. It was only $69. Yeah. So the salesperson came up to me and said, "I got $69." So, well, what do I need with this? I have paper at home. Well, you're going to have to buy cartridges, ink cartridges. I said, oh, how much is that? $78. Okay. Let me get this straight now. The copier itself is $69. The ink to put in the copier, which will run out really soon, is $78. So that's right. So let me ask you something, Mr. Staples salesperson. Does that make sense to you? Does that possibly make sense that the product itself costs less than the ink that you put in it? For some reason, he didn't respond. He pretty much just nodded his head, looked at the sky like he was looking at deceased relatives in heaven or something, or looking for God to somehow help him out at that point. But there was no logical answer to that. I don't know what ink is. Does it come from some type of exotic animal that is extinct, where there's only a certain amount of ink left in the animal? Or is it just colored shit? I mean, I think it's just colored shit. And why is it so expensive? Why is such a tiny amount in a tiny, tiny little cartridge? Why is that $78? What? I have a feeling something's weird. Through my lifetime, there are just some things that I never could figure out. And that's one of them. Ink, man. It's ink. It's freaking ink. $78? Doesn't make sense. That's a lot of money. That's more than most McDonald's employees make in a week. That's a lot of money. Ink? You serious? I'm thrown by that. I think I'm going to be haunted by that for the rest of my life. Nothing makes sense anymore. Ink? All right, that's enough, Ron. Enough with the ink thing. We get it. You don't understand why colored ink costs more than the copier itself. We get it. You spend 5 minutes on it. We get the whole idea.
What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing?
That's another phenomenon that I don't understand. People that lay out their clothes the night before, then they go to bed, they wake up and they put the clothes on that are carefully laid out, wrinkle-free, on a nearby chair. How much in advance do you need to figure that out? What would it be when you're about to go to sleep? You're groggy, you don't know where you are, you're just about to sane enough to brush your teeth, and then you say to yourself, I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow. I'm going to lay out my clothes right now and be committed to wearing those clothes. Because in the morning, I'm so freaking lazy, I can't even see or make a decision as to what clothes to put on. What kind of life are you leading? I understand pre-planning and things like that, but laying out your clothes the night before? What? I don't get it. Wouldn't it be more like you wake up, you open up the drapes to your window or whatever the freak you have hanging over your window, you look outside and you go, I feel like wearing the blue blazer today. I don't know. But no, I can't, though. I'm committed to what the clothes that I laid out the night before. What? People that do things ahead of time in order to save themselves time that they have already anyway, I don't understand. Pre-planning is nice. Like, you have to mail a letter. Okay, I'll put the letter in my car, and that way in the morning I won't forget the letter, and it'll be in my car already. It'll remind me to mail the letter. That I understand. Still a little obsessive, but I understand it. Laying out your clothes the night before? Are you doing a prison break in the morning? I don't understand. These are the same people that back into spaces when they're parking. These people. I used to do that. I used to pre-plan my escape. I see it so often when I go to a supermarket. Most people just pull into a space. Not a big deal. Easily navigated. Fine. Backing out of a space? Not a problem. You got to be a little careful, but not a problem. People that pull up to a space and decide, I just won't have time later to back out of the space. I need to prepare my exit immediately. It's like laying out your clothes. Look, unless you're going to rob a bank, you really shouldn't be backing into spaces because that requires a lot of maneuverability. I mean, that's not easy to do. It's harder to back into a space than it is to back out of a space. Let me explain why. Backing into a space, you need to navigate exactly. Your space is only a certain width. There's probably a car on each side of the space. You need total accuracy. Otherwise, you're going to scrape another car. It could take you 5, 6, maybe 20 tries. That's not easy to do. Backing out of a space, piece of cake. You got a whole big wide open area to back out of. A whole big lane. It makes no sense to back in. Unless you're robbing the place. All right, there go the sirens. Get in the car. Come on, let's go. Bugsy is in the car. Come on, let's get out of here before the cops catch us. I don't understand it. It's just planning ahead of time to the excess. Who does that? I used to do that. But then I grew up. I did that when I was like 20 years old. Because I had all this energy that here's a space. I'll back into it. I had energy. I had accuracy and energy. I don't have that anymore. I don't plan anything. I go by the seat of my pants. Which is an odd expression, is it? It really is. Is it? Isn't it? I mean, it's an odd expression. Is it? It's not, Ron, it's isn't it, okay? What's that expression, flying by the seat of my pants? I can't even do I can't even imagine what that looks like. I'm flying. Are you flying in an airplane? No. Are you flying like a bird? No. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. What are you talking? What does that mean? How can you fly by that's the ass area. That's the part of the pants that you sit on. You're flying by that? You're flying by your ass? Makes no sense. Yeah, I'm an adventure guy. When I wake up in the morning, I have no idea what I'm going to wear at all. I know it's very, very risky and very wow, you are really, wow. I don't know what you're going to do next, Ron. You could be wearing brown pants or jeans or something. I can't figure you out in the morning from one minute to the next. All right. So what are you wearing today?
What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today?
Could be anything. It could be anything. You're crazy.
Ain't always easy these days to know what to give your kids for snacks. Sugary this, high fructosey that. Heck, even the stuff they call natural ain't always natural. But there's one snack when your kids ask for it, you know exactly what you're giving them.
I want piggy parts. I want piggy parts.
Professor Parker's preserved piggy parts are 100% all-natural salt-preserved pig parts. What parts, you ask? Well, some folks would call them scraps or ears or hoofs, but kids just call them delicious. And with their stiff, leathery texture, one Professor Parker's preserved piggy part will last a kid all afternoon. That's what we call value. So stock up now for school. You'll find them at the end of the pet food aisle in original, barbecue, or vinegar, garlic, teriyaki, onion, habanero, pineapple flavor. Give them a try and you'll see why kids say,
That's some good piggies.
Professor Parker's preserved piggy parts.
My guests coming up in a few minutes are interesting people. They take care of their life, medical problems, etc., through intuition and spiritual, natural stuff. I used to be into that. I used to go to a woman. No, it's not what you think. And she was a Reiki master. That didn't mean that in the fall she would rake my leaves and was really good at it. A Reiki master is somebody that spiritually can lay their hands upon you or hover them above your body and extract all of the negativity in your body, thus believing that your cells and your body hold negativity and it can be released with the help of a Reiki master. And, consequently, positive energy can be transmitted into your body so that your entire body from head to toe and all your organs in between can be perfectly aligned and work together to keep you healthy, both in mind and body. I believed that for a long time to the tune of about $110 per session. Yes, a lot of money. It almost caused me to lay my clothes out the night before. I did that for a period of time. How long a period? Too embarrassing to say. But I did believe, and I still do believe, although I don't practice it as much as I should, I still believe that the mind and the body work in incredible concert beyond what we can even understand or comprehend. I believe that the mind has incredible healing power over your physical body. And I don't know if I believe it because I believe it or because I want to believe it, but it really makes no difference. If you believe in something, it therefore is. It's one of the lessons I learned in life. I've been around for a while, at least 17 minutes. And what I have learned is it has nothing to do with reality. Trump is right. And I never thought I'd say that, and I'm saying it a little bit sarcastically because I will never bow to his evil, devilish ways. But whatever the perception is indeed what it is to you. Perception is 9/10 of the law. It's true. Whether it's real or not, if you perceive it to be so, then it is real to you. That's a good thing when you're talking about your own body. It's a bad thing when you're talking about the country. I have tried to meditate. It's just that everything is so freaking loud around me. I can't relax to do it. I was told to put headphones on, not to listen to music necessarily, but just to drown out the outside world, which is very loud these days with cell phones and dings and dangs and notifications and music and all that stuff. It's hard. It's a construction going on like 2 feet from your place. It's hard to zone out. And I still don't quite understand what meditation is. Is it just like sleeping, or is it something? I don't know. I'm just never good at meditation. I have I have trouble clearing my mind. If there was a clear button on my head, I would push it and I'd just clear things up. But no, all the crap gets retained, and all the good stuff somehow flows out. That's kind of the opposite of what I really wanted. So I'm speaking to our guests today who have written a book. The consequences surrounding it are interesting. Nonetheless, the thesis of it is, I think, kind of really important. So we're going to speak to our guests momentarily and take it from there. You ready? All right.
You are listening to The Ron Van Dam Show, refined entertainment for a sophisticated audience who sometimes enjoy a good fart joke.
Barbara Wolf and Margaret Anderson join us now. Interesting book, Healing by Contacting Your Cells. I love the title and the concept even before we start, first of all. I like that. What reason did you put this book together?
Well, this is Margaret.
Yes.
It's a story of my healing, a spiritual journey that we went on, Barbara Wolf and myself, and it all takes place right after 9/11, when we went to New York City. She lives in upstate New York, and I lived in Pennsylvania. We met in New York to see what was happening, and then Barbara took one look at me and said, "Margaret, you don't look right. You're very your health has gone," and she was very pale and sort of shaky. And so she said, when we returned home, she said, "Let us go on a journey to find healing, a spiritual journey to find healing for you." And we did this via emails. So this book, Healing by Contacting Your Cells, is a series of all the emails that went back and forth to try to figure out what to do for my restoration of health.
Okay.
Here's Barbara.
So we had no maps for our journey to show what we're going to be doing,
right?
But we had intuition, so that's what we used. And we went ahead, taking many roads, and in the end, we found success for Margaret's, what I consider as cancer.
Wow.
So, what are the premise of our approach? Was that everything has a consciousness, and the cells have a consciousness, and that unloved cells can become diseased cells. So my first assignment from Barbara was to connect to my cells, because I didn't realize that the cells had a consciousness.
Now, let me tell you, I never told Margaret that we were writing a book.
No.
And actually, we really weren't. and we had the computer that could, both of us had computers, so
Yes.
even though 500 miles apart or 200 or whatever, we could go at it. And we emailed maybe sometimes 2 or 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I collected all this stuff. And in the end, when we got her cured, I said, Margaret, let's write this as a book. Well, okay. And so that's why there's the book.
Okay.
Yeah, if Barbara had told me at the beginning she intended this to be a book, I would have just stopped right at that moment.
Yeah.
But because I had to think about this, releasing these very personal emails, but I had lost 2 of my closest friends to breast cancer. And so I said, in honor of them, we will release this story of how to heal. And so my first assignment was to connect to the cells and to give love to the cells and then ask what was the matter. And so I connected to the cells and I took them to a beautiful island in the Pacific to a music concert, and we all spread out and I gave them all this love and I felt we connected. But then I after meditation, I wrote to Barbara and said, oh, I'm so excited. We connected to the cells, but I forgot to ask what was the matter. And then the cells spoke and they said, love heals.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, neither of you are doctors, obviously.
Nope.
Was there any diagnosis that was given by a medical person that you had cancer?
We both come from medical families. At this point, when I had this this spotting,
Yes.
we decided to go between us and focus on that. And so at that time, we did not have medical testing.
Right.
But we just wanted to stay. Now, when people have problems, of course, we believe people should go to doctors. But we believe that this is the story is mainly on maintaining and improving health and not letting the body fall into disease, which is dis-ease.
Right. I understand.
So the story is how I had to connect to the cells and then find out what they wanted. And what the cells wanted was food, light, oxygen, warmth, refreshment, good humor, and enthusiasm. What they didn't want is that they were affected by fear, anger, and judgment. And so they said, we respond to love. That is all there is. The love frequencies, harmony, resonance, sound vibration.
So at this moment, when there's so much going on in the world, which is more or less like upside down going down.
Yeah.
This is why we feel the book would be helpful to people if they read.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, see, the problem is now, because of our own government and things going on around the world, that nobody has anything to hold on to. But I guess what you're saying is, yeah, you do. You have yourself to hold on to, and that's what people never really cultivate.
Exactly.
Right.
And the cells are with you. They said, we are with you, Margaret. Don't go up and daydreaming. Live in your body, love your body. We are your building blocks. And so if you stay centered and balanced and in harmony, peace will be in your frequency, and then peace will be in the frequency of your family, your community, your nation, and the world and the planet. So
yeah. I guess that's part. I'll ask both of you. That's part of the struggle that I find is that you can find peace within yourself, but when you're surrounded by negativity on a daily basis, not only by civilization and society, but your own family members can be negative and can oppose your spirit. That's a difficulty that shouldn't be necessary, but we have to struggle to. I mean, are we putting up walls when we keep people out, their negativity out? I mean, how do you deal with that?
Well, what I do is I make my mind into drawers.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's something I don't like, I say, all right, you're going into this negative drawer over here. I can't think about you anymore.
Okay. So
Peace, love, and light.
so you're kind of putting negativity into quarantine.
Yes, exactly.
I gotcha. All right.
And I was told that, this is Margaret, that emotional turmoil causes erosion of the body. And I was told to live, to be happy, and not stop and drift and be worried and anxious. And I was all in turmoil about the world situation, but I had to pull myself back and look at it from a more distant perspective and not get caught in falling into the turmoil and then just staying in it, going around.
Well, Barbara, that's interesting because you have traveled the world to, I understand, to India, Africa, Middle East, and promoting peace. And that's like walking into roadblocks.
Well, not the way you look at it. The morning when you open your eyes, this is not a roadblock. You just say, hey, hi, guys. Hi.
And, people are loving. If you walk with a smile and you walk seeing people full of love and loving their families, they will respond. If you walk in fear or if you walk in anger and judgment, well, they're not going to respond to you. But all you do is you smile. You smile to the person. If somebody's carrying a heavy burden, they will respond to the smile. And if they don't, just in your mind, just bless them and go on. The continuing judgment and anger goes nowhere.
Okay. It's a great book, particularly at this time. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, right. It's the perfect time for this book to come out.
It really is.
Because we needed it, and we were in exactly the same turmoil in 9/11, and we're now in the same turmoil, not knowing where we are. And this country is so important. It has to, stay in its own mission.
Well, we always, as I said at the beginning, and I guess you agree with me, we always seek a foundation of comfort. And it's interesting how people don't really know themselves until they sit down and talk to themselves, but the decisions that you make in life are really yours. I mean, nobody can really, unless you're in an oppressive country or something, but it's all up to you, I guess.
Exactly.
That's
and
right.
You have to set up your own mental environment. And because the cells hear everything you're saying.
Really?
And they have big ears, they said.
They have big ears. How often do both of you meditate? Is that the entry level position there where you actually have a session for yourself?
Well, we meditate a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, on world situations and that kind of thing.
And then also we send prayers we call Japan every night.
Really?
And we do, and we're connected to Brazil, India.
Yeah, by the phone.
It's really quite wonderful.
Wouldn't it be incredible? And it might have been attempted a few times that I can recall in my lifetime where there was like a day that was designated or once a week where everybody around the whole world would concentrate on something.
Exactly.
And I'm not necessarily talking about prayer. I'm just talking about some type of global focus. It could be intense. And even if it's just psychological, that's kind of intense enough.
You know what we did? We were involved with it a couple of days ago. This thing called, what's it called? What was it called? The
Lion's Gate?
Yeah, no.
Oh, the hug relay.
The hug.
Okay.
The hug relay.
Okay.
And in our area, they decided they were going to break the world record of having more people doing hugs at the same time. So anyway, we thought, well, why don't we go? It's only like a 3-minute drive here, and went down, and it was wonderful to see this. Nobody had really done this before, but it was good. It
was to show the country that the country is not divided.
Yeah. It's divided only by those that make it divided and are divisively doing that. And we don't have to get into politics because that's not what this is about. It's called Healing by Contacting Your Cells. Barbara Wolf and Margaret Anderson.
Yes.
They take you on a journey, and they kind of pretty much put their hands out and say, "Come along with us." It's a good thing. So we'll do that. Healing by Contacting Your Cells, available everywhere, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you working on another book?
Oh, heavens.
Uh-oh.
I think we've written 15 books.
Woo. Woo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So is there a website in this social world of websiting? Is there a place we can go to contact?
Yes, your Barbara's website.
Mine, yeah. The only thing is I've been corrupted by...
No, it's fine. You can,
well, you got to communicate somehow to people.
Global, say that.
It's called HTTP www.globalmeditations.com.
Globalmeditations.com.
Right.
Okay, that's easy to remember, and it's to the point. All right. Barbara, Margaret, thank you so much for your time. And I guess what we're doing is we're contacting and helping other people through your experience. So that's great.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you for letting us talk.
Good.
We're happy.
You take care.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
That's pretty fascinating stuff. I don't know. For some people, it's hard to wrap your head around the concept. For others, it's really easy. If you can wrap your head around it, I think it's kind of nice and interesting. Are you being delusional? I don't know. For every person, there is a different explanation. There is a different approach. We're all individuals. We're like snowflakes, man. No two of us are alike, except for all of you. You're exactly alike, and I can't stand you. Otherwise, we're all individuals. We tend to group. We tend to get cultish, and that's when trouble begins. Stay an individual. Don't fall into groups. Always hated groups. In school, they used to try to group us. Okay, the 5th grade group, stand over here. Fuck you. Don't group me. Okay, don't group me. I'm sorry, I said a curse, and I usually don't do that. That's not right, and I don't know who's in the room. Some people may take offense to that. I apologize immediately. I'm out of time for today, before I get out of hand. I'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new show. Until that happens to occur, because I only do one show at a time, which is still a lot. Until then, I wish you peace. Really. So you get some kind of peace going in your body. I'm going to go lay out my clothes. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to wear the blue pants. Yeah, I'm going to wear the blue pants tomorrow. That's it. Okay, now I can relax. I know I'm going to be wearing the blue pants. That's a load off my mind. Oh, man. Blue pants it is.